I read the story.
Okay.
In fact, I made some comments about it on Facebook.
Right.
That I think their government was presented with a golden opportunity.
Okay.
To demonstrate to Ghanaians their commitment, the long-term standing, unwavering position on issues of LGBT. I think the vote on the UN Human Rights Council was a golden opportunity and a platform. You see, he had to come into office. This government, was so hard and firm and strong on the LGBT matter. Somebody like Honorable Sam George became so popular on the back of these matters. Now, the MPP or the Akufo-Addo government was punished because they could not firm up ground on this LGBT issue. So they have suffered their fate on this matter. Now, 6 months in office, people have started raising it. Oh, you were so loud. You said when you come, you would sign it. You said when you come, you would approve it. You would do this. Then we saw 2 young men in front of our emblem at the Independence Square. Going viral. And a whole lot of issues. Those who were back and forth with the government, oh, okay, you said this, and this couldn't have happened in the MPP government. The people would have done this. A whole lot of issues. So when you go to such a platform, and an opportunity is given for a country to show his standing, his position, his orientation on matters of this nature, you don't look left or right. You don't miss the opportunity. So people were so furious why government could not state their position clearly to speak that no, we do not support this, or yes, we support it. People were so furious, but I wasn't surprised because you see, the UN Human Rights Council, what is repeating now, happened 2016.
Okay.
And the same president we have now, President John Dramani Mahama, abstained from the earlier voting in 2016. So it is not surprising that this time round too, he is abstaining. Now, after that, there have been a backlash in the media. People are saying that, oh, it is a confirmation of the government not so strong on the LGBT matter, and the minister came to respond. The minister brought some response, which we all read. I think I have a copy of the minister's response here. And I think that it is a bit unfortunate. Now, the mandate of the independent experts, I'm reading from the UN.
Right.
The mandate of the independent experts is on protection, promotion against violence and discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender.
Right.
This was what we were talking about. Now, what was the vote about? The question and the vote was about whether to renew the mandate of this independent expert. That was the question. That was what the vote was about. So the question of whether the vote was not about identifying who LGBT should be protected against violence or discrimination or not was not the question. So here, the minister's point was wrong. That was not the question that they were voting on. They were voting on the renewal of the mandate. And don't forget that to have a mandate to protect, to promote violence and all that against discrimination against this kind of people, you must first and foremost come to terms and admit that people have such alienations. I don't know if you get it. Yes, you must admit that people have that alienations. Now, the minister went ahead to reference us to Article 17(1). Now, I have before me the memorandum of the bill that Sami Nati and
it is Sam George Nati.
Sam George Nati. Jata. And Reverend Tim Fodwo and the likes were pushing and championing.
You left out one person. Moses Fuamweni.
Good. We're pushing and
otherwise
championing.
You call it to the program.
Now, the memorandum I want to read, forgive me.
Yes.
It said, the bill gives consideration to the issue of whether or not prohibition LGBT persons from forming association groups, organization, people in any form for the purpose of advocating for the promotion of the right of person, blah, 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 blah. Now, it said, particularly in Article 12.2, 17.1, and 21.1, and D, it must be noted that such rights of freedom by their very nature are not absolute. And the Constitution prescribes reasonable restrictions that are necessary for the public health, order, or safety.
Right.
So you cannot base your point on 17.1 when you know that before 17.1 there is 12.2, which have restrictions. And the restrictions can have public order, the restrictions can be court order, or the restrictions can be any form. So we disagree with the minister. Look, I think that they missed it. And in justifying missing it, resulting to this, somebody will say, you go explain tire. They missed it. Okay. They had a golden opportunity. The people who are doing this are coming to promote, protect violence against LGBT people. They are coming to create awareness. That is their mandate. So if you have opportunity, that vote whether this mandate will be renewed for another 3 years or not, and you abstain. What are you telling us?
What do you think should have been Ghana's decision?
State your position.
What do you think should have been?
No.
What do you think should have been? What should have been our position?
Our position should have been no.
Okay.
Because we are appalled. We are appalled.
Yes.
We don't like it in any form or shape. And the bill, I have the full bill if you want us to go into it.
But if we say no...
The bill.
Yes.
I'm
talking about the voting.
If you say no, what happens?
If we vote against it, wouldn't that run contrary to our own constitutional position on this matter?
What is the constitution position? The constitution position which you reference, 17.1.
Yes.
I'm telling you that before 17.1,
yes.
12.2 is telling you that the 17.1 is not absolute.
That which is true.
Yes.
So because rights generally are not absolute.
Yes. So what is the point?
Yeah, but this one.
So hold on.
Okay.
So you were pushing Akufo-Addo.
Yes.
You were pushing the MPP.
Yes.
To sign to a bill which was against our constitution. Was that what they were doing?
My understanding of the bill was not to necessarily harm persons who have decided to do what we culturally do not recognize.
So
that's my understanding of the human, sexual, and family.
The bill anticipated that persons or people in future will rise up to and reference 17.1.
Yes.
So even before that, the bill told you that he is telling you that 17.1, 21A, and 21D per 12.2 is not absolute.
Yes.
So what was the minister trying to tell us? When our social norms, culture agrees that we are having a bill, we are taking a decision. Okay, we all have lands around the airport area. We have land. It's our right to do whatever I want to do with the land. But because of public order, you are not allowed to erect a skyscraper. It is your right.
Right.
But the right has restrictions. So you cannot say that, and that is what 12.2 is saying.
Yes.
So you cannot come and tell me that I have a right in 17.1.
Right.
When there is a public order, when there is a restriction, when there is this, it must not, affect your 17.1.
Right.
You cannot tell me that you have been convicted to go into prison or you have been sentenced to judgment, and you are telling me that because you have a right in 17.1, that restriction must not be exercised. That is wrong. But you see, let us not even look at the whole point. I am saying that, ask yourself, what would have happened? What would have happened? Would we be here? Don't you think even the NDC government will be justified, will be vindicated, will be hailed if they had voted no? Tell me, would we be discussing all these matters? Should the government have taken the position that, hey, go and vote no? Because the minister gave the instruction that they vote no.
But, Nana, I've never heard either Sam George or Moses Fuamweni or what's the name of this MP, your friend you mentioned, Intim Fojo. I've never heard them say that the fact that somebody is gay, right, it means the person loses their right. I've never heard them say so.
But
they still have some rights.
Hold on. So you
They
think,
have, for instance, they have a right to live.
Hold on. Let us not bundle the issues. Let us not bundle the issues together. We are dealing with the vote that happened.
Yes, at the UNHCR.
And I have told you that the question to which the voting was cast was not what the minister wrote to us.
Right.
He said the question before the council was whether persons
do we
who
keep
identify...
The group? Do we extend the mandate or
hold
not?
on. The question, the minister said whether people who identify with LGBTQ should be protected against violence or discrimination or not. That was not the question.
Right.
That was not the question.
Right.
The question was to renew the mandate of the individual expert. That is doing the following. Look, he's creating awareness. He's protecting them against violence.
Yes.
He's promoting the rights. These are the things that the independent.
So let's take the three. So let's take the three mandates. Awareness about what?
Okay. So when we take the three
promoting
mandates,
what rights?
Promoting their gay rights.
Yeah, but gays have rights.
Hold on. Listen. Okay,
is what aspects of their rights?
No, so hold on. The aspect of their rights is not what we are dealing with here.
No,
hold on. They are telling you that they have rights to marry among themselves.
That's what the gays are saying.
Yes. They have right to marry among themselves. The queer have rights to sleep with dogs.
Yes.
And to sleep with cats.
Yes.
And these rights that they are mentioning, we are against it.
Yes.
Our laws are against it.
Yes.
Clearly so speak.
Yes.
Now, our act, the bill which you asked Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to assent to, the bill is stating clearly prohibition of propagation and promotion of the advocacy for activities prohibited under this act. It is against promotion, advocating for it, forming an association for it, and all these things are against the bill he wanted the Akufo-Addo to sign.
So your point is, they had a fine opportunity to have validated that position they have always come
simple.
But the point, what I'm trying to say is this, that when we talk about the rights of this independent council that you're talking about, what are they advocating? What are they promoting? What rights are they advocating? What are they promoting? Because you see, even in the human rights sexual bill, I haven't read anywhere where they are saying that nobody has a right to advocate the rights of persons who are involved in what we're talking about. So the only thing is, what the bill is against is what you're talking about, the right to get married. Man, don't marry. Woman, don't marry. If you want to do your thing in your room, you have the right to do it.
I'm happy you are coming there.
Yes.
I'm happy you are coming there. So these rights,
type of right.
The person is coming to promote these rights.
Which is man married.
Woman married. Those are their rights. They have right to marry. They have right to sleep with whoever they want to sleep with. They have right to sleep with dog. They have right to sleep with cat. That is the promotion. He's coming to promote that right.
That I get it. But the impression I have, or what I'm actually thinking is that
don't think. These are
no. Based on what you just read, and based on what I've also looked at, I'm looking at rights from the angle of don't kill the person.
Oh, get it.
The person has a right to live.
You see, nobody.
So Ghana,
hold on. Nobody is talking about killing them.
No, but you know why?
Hold on.
You know what the bill has been? You know what the bill is in Parliament?
Which bill?
We're talking about the bill.
I've read the bill.
Yes, I know, and I'm saying that you know the philosophy underpinning it. It's not just it's just not to prevent people from
practicing it.
That is their right. But the bill also seeks to protect the rights of these persons who are practicing it.
Listen, you are not getting
it. So it isn't like only any right just because
nobody is ruling out their right to live.
Yes.
No. Nobody is saying that they should kill them.
Yeah, I get it. But you know, people are harming them.
Even the bill,
people are killing them.
Even the bill is not saying that.
Yes.
The bill is not saying that. Now, the point we are focusing on here, I am surprised a body has about 3 mandates.
Yes.
They are to create awareness.
Yes.
That somebody can sleep with a woman.
Yes.
A woman can sleep with a woman. Somebody can sleep with animals. They create awareness.
Yes.
They can promote it.
Is that what they're doing?
That is their functions. the independent expert. That's their functions. And they had to protect them against violence. Why do you now go and pick only the violence one as a defense? Forgetting the promotion and the creating awareness. Why do you do that? When the bill you forced Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to sign had all these things in there. Now you come to defend yourself with Article 17.1. When your bill, the memorandum of your bill, is refuting the 17.1 under 12.2.
Yeah. I think I get
simplicity. So I'm saying that you should have said no.
Which have been consistent with your position.
Then you become consistent with the position you have held on, the things people have believed in you, the things Ghanaians have believed in you, and that was why they voted for you. That was it. You missed the opportunity, and now you are explaining.
So let's try and put this.
But I'm not surprised.
Yes.
Because I'm not surprised because 2016 they repeated same. On the same UN board, they voted, they abstained. So it is a trait.
Okay.
We missed it during campaign.
So
we missed it.
Let me read the Foreign Affairs Minister's.
It is here. I have referenced you.
No,
I have referenced
you. You've not read the entire thing.
Read it.
Yes.
And
let
us be pointing out the things.
Yes.
Read them.
You've already started doing a critique of it, which is fine.
Read them.
So, I have the statement here. Ministry of Foreign Affairs press release, Ghana's vote on the renewal of the mandate of the Independent Expert on Protection Against Violence and Discrimination Based on Sexual Orientation and Gender Identity, which is SOGI, at the 59th session of the Human Rights Council, HRC 59. So, this one is dated 9th July 2025, Accra. And it says that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has closely monitored media commentary on Ghana's vote at the 59th session of the Human Rights Council on the resolution for the renewal of the mandate of the Independent Expert on Protection Against Violence and Discrimination Based on Sexual Orientation and Gender Identity, SOGI. The Ministry wishes to clarify as follows. 1. There was no vote on the support of LGBT, for which Ghana abstained, as has been wrongly reported by the section of the Ghanaian media. 2. On Monday, 7 July 2025, Ghana abstained from the HRC's vote on the renewal of the mandate of the Independent Expert on Protection Against Violence and Discrimination Based on Sexual Orientation and Gender Identity. Now, the question before the Council was whether persons who identify as LGBTQI should be protected against violence and discrimination or not. It was not about support for LGBTQ rights. Okay, so I get the point you're making. It's a bit misleading.
Thank you.
I get where you're coming from. So it says Ghana abstained in the vote to be consistent with Chapter 5, Article 17 of the 1992 Constitution, which specifically prohibits discrimination on the grounds of gender, race, color, ethnic origin, religion, creed, or social or economic status. The resolution requests the independent experts to continue to report annually on the implementation of the mandate to the Human Rights Council.
And what are their mandates?
And the General Assembly in accordance with the respective programs of work. And let me read this final statement to basically end it. Actually, that's his final paragraph. It says that in a statement delivered by the permanent representative of Ghana during the session, he unequivocally clarified Ghana's position on the subject by stating inter alia that 1, our understanding of the traditional definition of gender is the male sex or female sex, especially when considered with reference to social and cultural differences. Similarly, sex in our view refers to either of the two main categories, male and female, into which humans and most other living things are divided and used for statistical purpose and policy monitoring. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is very mindful of the Ghanaian public's general opposition in the government's strong stance against the subject of LGBTQI rights and will not act in any manner to undermine this position. So, but that's the Foreign Affairs Ministry's understanding of what the vote was all about. That's the understanding. And that's why they took that decision.
I am surprised. His understanding.
Yes.
I am surprised. I am surprised that he could not read between the line what the voting was for and the purpose of the voting. So for you to come to even tell us that this was the vote, go and check the website. whether this was the voting or this was the grounds for the voting. Now, I am telling you that the grounds for the voting was to renew the mandate of the independent expert. And the independent expert, the UN laws and acts clearly states their mandate. They have the mandate to create awareness, they have mandate to promote, and they have mandate to defend the people against violence. That is their mandate. So if they have 3 mandates, and you want to limit everything they do to the violence part, what about the promotion?
Right.
What about the awareness creation? Which your bill, which you propose or which Parliament passed, waiting for assent from Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, which everybody went on him hard that he didn't sign this thing, was clear. And I read to you the act. I think it's clause 9, the old one, and the new one is about 8 or 7, which is talking about promotion, prohibition, and all these things. So my point was simple. What would have happened if you had this golden opportunity? Just say no. To firm up your grounds. You don't need them. You would not have generated the headlines you generated. No. Simple. You don't come back to us to reference us to Article 17.1 when in your memorandum to the bill 17.1 is being refuted by 12.2. Simplicity, I'm done here.